Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories. Firstly, Somalia is telling Ethiopia to vacate some air bases, airports captured by Ethiopia recently, or you can say Ethiopia consolidated its control of these facilities recently. Ahmed Mualim Fiki, Somalia's foreign minister, is asking Ethiopia to vacate these facilities. Secondly, General Jula, Ethiopian military chief, was interviewed a week ago. First part of the interview was aired a week ago. Second part was aired around 48 hours ago. And General Jula gave a challenge to Gedu Andargachew in his interview. I missed this part of the interview. What did he say about Gedu Andargachew? And what he said about Gedu, is it factually correct or not? Let's start with from Somalia. I did some videos last month. I told you that Ethiopian military recently strengthened its control of some airports and airstrips on Somalia Ethiopia border. Later, the reports were confirmed by the statements of Somalia's officials too. Even uh, Hassan Sheikh, the president of Somalia, in a speech, confirmed that Ethiopia had taken over airports on Somalia Ethiopia border, on Somalia side of the border. If you remember, I showed you pictures from an airport in Somalia where Ethiopian military was uh, seen extending the runway to enable it to handle larger aircrafts. Ethiopian military has been operating in these areas for years, but now more troops are being deployed at airports and airstrips. Two reasons. Firstly, Ethiopia wants to ensure that these airports are not used by Somalia's authorities to transport Egyptian troops in these areas. And secondly, Ethiopia wants to be in control of these troops so that it can expand its military presence in border areas. Hassan Sheikh confirmed this takeover of airports in Somalia by Ethiopian forces. Now, Somalia is demanding uh, that Ethiopia should leave these airports. Ahmed Mualim Fiki is Somalia's foreign minister. He has been heard talking about these airports. He asked Ethiopian troops to leave these airports, which are mainly situated in Gedu. Gedu is in Jubaland. Ethiopian military has widespread presence in Gedu, and in Gedu, some airstrips are under Ethiopian military's control. I think the pictures I showed you were from Gedu, if I'm not wrong. So now Somalia wants Ethiopian troops to leave Gedu airports, which is not very likely. I don't think Ethiopian troops will leave Gedu airports. If it does not happen, if Ethiopian troops does not comply with the instructions passed by Somalia's authorities, what will Somalia's government do? Will it launch some operation to remove Ethiopian troops? I think it's a warning. This month is crucial. We heard from National Security Advisor of Somalia that Ethiopia has October. By the end of October, by some date in October, Ethiopia must withdraw from the MOU with Somaliland. Otherwise, all Ethiopian troops will have to leave Somalia. So after October, we could see pressure on Ethiopian troops from Somalia. Though Ethiopian military chief are taking warnings from Somalia very lightly. They say Somalia's government cannot protect its capital Mogadishu. Ethiopian troops in control of around 50% of Somalia, and Somalia cannot fight Ethiopia. Will Somalia try to implement its instructions in terms of expulsion of Ethiopian troops from airports in coming weeks? That remains to be seen. Secondly, viewers, Janel Jula challenged Gedu Andargachew in the interview, the second part of which was released around 48 hours ago. I did a video on that yesterday. This part was missing. I didn't cover this part. Gedu Andargachew is Prosperity Party member of parliament, member of House of Representatives. He was a staunch supporter of PM Abiy, Prosperity Party, when the Prime Minister took office in 2018. Later, PP was formed. Gedu was one of senior leaders of PP, Amhara PP. He served in senior positions too, and he was a staunch supporter of PM Abiy during the war on Tigray. Jula accused Gedu. He said Gedu, when he was in power, he used to advise us how to destroy extremists. And now, when he's not in power, he's accusing us. He's conspiring against us. He said, we know what you are doing. He said, if you are so brave, if you're a man, join Fano. Why haven't you joined Fano so far? If you're a man, if you're brave. Gedu, is in the US. What is he doing there? Obviously, he's meeting with Americans. He's convincing Americans that America should remove Abiy, that Fano is a new player in the town. Talk should be held between Fano and the US, and Abiy should be removed because he's a threat to national security of Ethiopia. This is what he's trying to tell Americans. Jula did not say that, but we know that Gedu has held meetings with American officials. Yes, Gedu did not join Fano. He fled Ethiopia. He's in the US. Jula is right. If he's so staunch supporter of Amhara cause, why isn't he in Ethiopia? Why has he fled Ethiopia? Skandar came from the US to join Fano. He was in the US. He was told that he should not return to Ethiopia. He came to Ethiopia. He joined Fano. Gedu fled Ethiopia in the US. So Jula is correct in criticizing Gedu, but did Gedu advise the government to launch operation against Fano? I don't think so. Because when operation was launched against Fano, Gedu opposed it. He opposed the imposition of state of emergency. Yes, he advised the government to launch operation against Tigray fighters, TPL. Like he was on board with the federal government of Ethiopia back then. He supported PM Abiy in the war on Tigray. But when the war erupted, or war-like situation, security operation was launched in Amhara against Fano, he went quiet. He opposed the operation. So I don't think that he ever supported any strict action against Fano fighters. He was against the disbandment of Fano fighters, disbandment of special forces too. Later he openly opposed the state of emergency when he delivered a speech at the parliament. He faced the consequences too. He was arrested too for a short period of time. Then he was released, and just he went abroad. He fled Ethiopia. But will he join Fano? This is a very important question. These leaders who want to bring about change in Amhara, they want to bring about change using Fano while they are staying abroad, keeping themselves safe. Thank you for watching.